G'day everyone, Spud here from Spud's Games. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's video, I'm going to show you how to set up a remote to access the service menu for that guy in the background, a 2950QM PVM. Let's go. So first up, to access the service menu in that particular PVM, it's very similar to a consumer CRT. Has very similar menus, has very similar functions. You can adjust the volume, etc., all from a standard Sony CRT remote. You don't need anything special to do that. One of these will work, whether it's one like this, a black one of the black long ones. I don't know the exact model numbers, but you guys know the ones I'm talking about. They will all work with that particular PVM in the background. However, what you can't do with these is you can't actually store settings from the service menu. You can access the service menu from this, but you can't store any of the settings or get, pretty much there's one spot you can't get past unless you've got a very particular Sony remote or you've got what I'm about to show you. So what are you going to need for this to work? Well, there's two things I use. One is a standard CRT Sony remote, and the other is this. This is an older Samsung S5 mobile phone, but any mobile phone, any Android mobile phone that is, with an IR blaster, an infrared blaster, so you know, one of the ones you could have used to program your TV before, will work. Now, the newer Samsungs don't have this. So I went back to Facebook Marketplace and I found this for 30 bucks sitting there. Pretty much very good condition and whatnot. The battery doesn't last a long time, but you know, I don't need it to last a long time. I just need it to work and be compatible with a certain app. So what I'll do now is I'll jump over to the PVM. I'll load it up. We'll get it fired up. We'll put the 240p test suite on it. And what I'll do is I'll show you how to access the service menu, and then I'll go back and I'll show you how to actually download the app, set it up, so then you can use it, so you can program your own PVM. Okie dokie, so we're in front of the PVM at the moment. Now, I haven't done a hard power off on this one. I've only turned this off via a soft off, which is via the remote. There is a main power button there, so we want the CRT on, but powered off with the remote. Same as any consumer Sony CRT, display 5, volume up, power back on. So to get to the service menu, we're just going to do that now. So, and I'm using this rather than the mobile phone. So we'll do display 5, volume up, power on. That should bring up the service menu. You see here on this side, there it is there. Now, we can use this particular remote to move through those. You can see there I'm doing it just by the standard Sony way of doing it. 1 and 4 moves up and down. 3 and 6 changes settings. Normally you would press mute 0, but this particular PVM you need to press mute 12 to store the settings. So that's why we really need that number 12 button. So I'm just going to open up the phone again. You can actually do it via the phone, which I'll switch to now. So I'll just press number 4. So that's moving it down, and this is where you want to press number 12. So I'll get nice and close because this IR blaster isn't the best. So now we go into 60 Hertz mode, which is standard. It'll default to whatever it's on, so 12 again. So it was 12 again. So to get nice and close to it. And now we're into the settings. So I'm just going to flick back to this because the IR blaster on this isn't the best. It'll vary between phones, but it's got me into the service menu, and by using that button 12, I can now get in there. Now, once I'm in there, I can use this to my heart's content. We want to change the horizontal. So we just go down to, go the other way, horizontal size, have I gone past it, horizontal position, pin amp, I don't know what that one is, horizontal size, horizontal compensation, trapezoid, vertical bow, vertical angle, tilt, pin amp. Must be this one, is it? Yeah, it's this one here, horizontal center. Sorry, I'm looking at it. I couldn't work out what that said there. So that's horizontal center. So that was using 1 and 4 to go through to change the settings. Now we're using 3 and 6. So we're just going to bring it over a little bit. Okay, now you'll find that mute 0 won't let me store it. So mute 0, it doesn't actually say storing there. What we need is that 12 button. So back to the phone. We can press mute 12 and it should store it. So mute 12, and it's turned blue, and now it's okay. So that has now stored. To check that, we can turn the TV off, and I'll go back to this remote again because it's a little bit more trustworthy than the IR blaster on that phone. So turn that off, turn it back on again, and we can see now that it's stored the settings, not a problem. So to do it, I highly recommend, depends on your IR blaster on your phone, but at least have this handy because you can use this to get most of the way, but you do need the button 12 on that pre-programmed remote on your IR Plus app on the phone for this to be able to store the settings, as well as move into past that geometry first page. To get past that, and then it'll go to 60 Hertz. To get past that, you still need that 12 button. So that's where you switch over to this one. So let's jump over to the computer now and I'll show you how to do it. Okay, to do this, what we need to do is we need to jump over to a WordPress website by a guy named Jeremy Hyde-Barr. He's a guy in Canberra. Now he does a lot of CRT repairs and recaps and whatnot. And he had the same issue that we have, that we're looking for it. Now this is the button layout that he come up with. And he's also given the download folder there of what you need. And he fully explains it up here, exactly what he's done and how to do it, but I'll show you how to do it anyway. So first up, we're just going to download, we're going to go to his folder, and then we're going to download at the bottom here, the IR remote codes, blah, 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 for the PVM-2950. So hit download that. Okay, so now it's downloaded. This will be the file that you'll see once you've unzipped everything. Now, outside of all this, what you need is this APK file, and you also need this IR Plus file here. Now, what you need to do is you need to plug your Samsung phone in or your Android phone in, become a USB device, and you need to be able to transfer that file and that file onto your phone. So let's do that now. Okay, so now we've transferred the files onto the phone itself. We want to now install, first of all, the APK file. So I had it in the download folder. These are all the files that we transferred over. So find the APK file, which is that one there. It'll ask me to install it. Sometimes it'll pop up and say, do you want to install third-party apps, blah, blah, blah. Just hit yes if that happens. Otherwise, it'll just go through. So the app's installed. Now, I do this step only because I found sometimes it can be a little bit funny. I just go to import SD and I'll just hit OK. And it'll say error during network operation. But what I think it does there, it actually creates a folder that you need. So we'll just jump out of that now. Jump back into my folders. And we want to find the Jeremy.ir plus one, which is this one here. We want to copy that. And we want to go into the Android folder. We're going to go in the data folder, and there should be an IR Plus folder. We want to put that in there. So we go to Files, we go to Paste here, and there it is. It's into that IR Plus data folder. Now if I jump back out of this, and I jump back into IR Plus, we now should be able to import that, hopefully. Where is it? There it is there, IR Plus. If I go to Import, SD, okay, there it is, it's popped up. Now to prove that, what I'll do is I'll just fix the camera up a little bit here. If I walk over to this now, I should be able to at least turn it on. Hopefully, if not, at least turn it off, or something should happen. So we'll try power on to start with. There we go. So it's just turned itself on. Should bring up the 240p test suite because the Mega Drive's still on. With it on there, so there it is there. So that's it from me, guys. Thanks for watching. Just a quick video on how to access the service menu as well as store settings if you don't have the original remote. As I said, you can do it all via mobile phone. I do it in a combination with the mobile phone and the standard CRT remote, Sony CRT remote. I find the Sony CRT remote just a little bit more stable than this. The critical thing about this is having that number 12 button working. IR blasters vary between phones. Some are really good, some are really crap. This one here is a bit hit and miss, but I found the number 12 button always works. So at least use the Sony CRT remote to get into the service menu and do whatever you need to do. And whenever you need the button 12, just refer back to the IR blaster on your phone. So very quick video. I'll put all the links in the comments or in the description below. And until the next video, I'll see you then.